Hey guys, it is Chico with He Provides Homestead. We're not on Homestead again, we're at Orange County Community Gardens, and I'll try to link their Facebook page in the description box below. And even though this is not part of our homestead, and I've probably told you this, I don't remember, it is part of our plan, our budget, our setup. While a lot of this is has a social aspect, and some of the food that we grow is to give away to the community, it is also a way that we feed our family. A portion of the community garden we also take home, but we give some to the public, the community, and we also take some home. And then we take home what we grow if the deer don't eat it all. So it is part of our homestead. It's just an extended part. So we're here. I haven't even walked up yet. I wanted to look at the pawpaw trees, and I want to show you something that I see here that I hope works out very well. But anyway, we're here. It's a Tuesday night. The weather's not horrible. It's been in the 90s lately, but it's mid 80s, I think, maybe low 80s. It's not bad. And I'm in the shade right now. I'll show you up here. The garden's in the sun. But it's a great night. I'm glad to be here, and we'll see what's in. I told you about, I said something about the deer. In the last video that we did here, I told you about the devastation. The deer wreaked havoc. They ate a lot of pepper plants, which is odd because they say, I've always been told that deer don't eat pepper plants, but they eat the crap out of them here. So they eat a bunch of bell pepper plants. They eat a bunch of cucumber plants. They were not picky. They hit everybody's garden. They were equal opportunity scavengers. So I don't know what holds true for our garden right now, and I don't even know what the plan is for tonight. I think weeding, of course, maybe some mulching, some watering, almost for certain, and we'll see. And I'm just kind of rambling on, but I want to show you something that I noticed when we pulled in. Now let me pull down. That is a live trap with fresh bait in it, and it looks conspicuously placed not only by the creek but by that big hole. Now I'm not an expert at probably anything, so you tell me what you think burrows down in there, what lives down in there. My guess is like a muskrat or something of that nature, but I'm assuming that the close proximity to the live trap has something to do with the hole. You tell me. And oh, look, we have proof here that the live trap was actually placed even closer at one point. Curtis likely is placing the live trap. I'm not going to show you every pawpaw tree, but I want to show you this one. It looks like it's doing very well. Pawpaw trees need to grow under the shade of other trees. So, perfect location. Looks like it's doing well. Looks like we might have a mole issue. And so let's see what we've got here. Who's here, who's not. We usually start around 6:15, and it's probably 6:30-ish right now. And I know my camera doesn't do justice, but we've got Curtis up on the hill, looks like with a water container, and we've got the Nunez family, the Albertson family, and us, the Good Pasture family. So let me do a little pan around real quick, because sometimes I'm just in awe of how much garden space we actually have here, and it's a considerable amount. And as you can see, we're right next to a highway, which is pretty handy, but we have a considerable amount of gardening space. See that kind of pull off? That's kind of like an old farmer's kind of pull off. It's really not a great pull off, and usually most folks park up there. Curtis or Phil will park down here occasionally because they'll bring the water containers or a tractor or a tiller or equipment like that. I'm about the only one that parks down here that isn't really hauling anything. But the reason that is because I have some mobility issues. My knees do not do well with that hillside. Up and down that hillside once or twice, and my knees swell up. So we come down that old entrance right there, and we park down here. That's why you mostly just see my van down here. So feel like I'm rambling. I'll be back. Alright guys, this is my lovely wife, and you already know that. But she's tending to the herb garden tonight. I'm not so much. How's it doing, dear?
It looks really good. We actually had Curtis here. He mulched up a bunch of the straw.
He pulverized it.
He said he pulverized it. So we put it on pretty thick to keep out the weeds. And as you can see, it looks so much better than it did at this time last year. We were really fighting the weeds, but it looks really good. So I'm just kind of getting the weeds that are here just to keep it well maintained. I think we have lots of herbs that are ready to be harvested. We've got our fennel's about to take over, and we have tons of mint. There's basil and parsley too that's ready. So I'm just kind of trying to keep up. It's one of those things that if you don't do it every time you're here, then it's going to get out of control, kind of like Chico.
Yeah.
So I just try to keep it into.
If she don't stay on top of me, folks, I get out of control.
That's right. So that's my game plan for this evening.
Now we have been, folks, I have been right over there is sorrel. And I have been taking sorrel home, 2-3 leaves, every time we come to the garden, and I saute it in with some kale and other vegetables in my breakfast. So yeah, let me show you the sorrel. It was looking a little rough last week.
In the middle of the mint.
Yeah, and the mint will choke it out, I believe.
And it's one of those things that you love and hate at the same time. It is really sour, but at the same time you love it. So
kind of lemony.
Yeah. But we really like it. So we try to get a handful of this every time we're here.
Yeah,
as you can tell, something's getting into the sorrel. They like it as well as we do. Bugs are into it.
I pulled some of what was dying off on Saturday, and it seems to have done it a lot of good.
If you'll walk around, we've got stuff that is blooming now that wasn't blooming the last time we were here. See right here?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm in the.
And I'm not real sure. I'll have to talk to Curtis. I'm not real sure what this is. But it has flowered, and it has truly just grown plentiful overnight.
So the pulverizing of the hay. Curtis got a really cool new tool this year. It's literally a tractor, and it's got interchangeable implements, and he literally took a bale of hay and used this machine to literally pulverize that so that we could work it in. It's a very cool machine. It's also the same machine that we've used to till with. It's very cool. So
every time we're here, somebody uses it.
Our garden is overcome with weeds. Not overcome, but it's looking rough. So I need to come on an off day that we're not here as a group, and do some mulching and some weed pulling. It looks like no more peppers have been eaten since Saturday. And some of our tomato plants are starting to look like tomato plants. The broccoli looks like it's doing fair. And these bush beans, which looked dead a few days ago, look like they have a little life to them. If they make it, great. If they don't, oh well. And the deer have been back and munched the rest of our cucumbers. But we are growing some pretty cool lamb's quarter. And Curtis just told me that lamb's quarter is a member of the quinoa family, and that they produce seed much like the quinoa seed. So good information. I'm more and more intrigued by the quinoa, or the lamb's quarter. The more I learn about it, the more I'm impressed, and I like it. So there's quite a few folks here, and there's quite a few missing, but while I'm flapping my gums, I'm not getting any work done. So I will show you all of these tomato plants in this row, and all of those tomato plants in that row need to be tied to the fence tonight. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll be back in a little while.
Hi guys, hey, it's Jerry. It is a quiet night here at the community garden, and I just wanted to show you, the sun's getting ready to go down, but it is still about 85 degrees. I'm getting ready to, here is our plot right here, and I'm getting ready to weed eat it. As you can see, all the weeds coming in. And I'm not sure what this roll is right here in front of us growing. I want to say sweet potatoes, but it's a huge possibility that I'm wrong. There's Chico back there hoeing. We have weed-eated lots of items. We weed-eated tomatoes, onions. He is weed-eating corn right now. And I know there's one more item that we have weed-eated today. He loves his little tool there. So, you want to say hi, dear?
Have you guys ever seen this tool? I was introduced to this tool last year. It is phenomenal. It is a great tool. Here's how it works. Can you see it down there, dear? Mm-hmm. Boom. Done. Look at that. Root and all.
And he doesn't like to share it.
It's awesome. I really love this tool. Don't know what it's called. Not sure where we got it. But if you're going to do a lot of weed pulling, weed whacking like on this level, this is the tool to have. So
he's weed eating the corn. There's Miss Jessica and Curtis over there, and they're working on tomatoes, onions. Then you'll see the little ones up there playing. It's almost snack time, and they're a little concerned about food. And if you see, it's kind of hard to see from back here, so I will zoom it. Let's see if I can zoom. You see in there, in that little shed right there, that's where we keep all of our tools. But sitting in there is the teenagers. They're already over the heat. They went in there as a refuge. I think there's 3 there tonight. So last week they were all about the berries, but the berries are gone. It's too hot for the berries. And they're just hanging out in the shade. So that's what's going on here tonight. I'm gonna get off here and get to work. The sooner we get it done, the sooner I get to go home in the air conditioning. So we'll see you soon, guys. Bye.
Alright guys, right there is Roger. He came by in an earlier video. Quite a great guy. He says he has a water ministry. He brought, a week or so ago, I think it was last week, he brought water, a case of ice cold water, to whoever was working. And he did it again today. Quite the fella. Not part of the community garden, just part of the community. Great fella. Actually, my wife and I used to attend church with him. He's a good guy. More communities need more folks like him, and your community probably has people like Roger. If you do, put it in the comment section below. Tell us about the Roger in your community. You know, the guy that's selfless and brings cold water on hot days, and he had been friends with a distant cousin of mine for a long time, and that cousin of mine, distant as he was, he died and last year, I think, and I wasn't even aware of it. He was actually, I think, my father's distant cousin, but same last name. Long story short, before I get to rambling, him and Roger were friends, and after this gentleman passed away, Roger brought his favorite chair and ottoman to my house. It's just the kind of stuff he does. Pretty impressed with him all the time. There's so many people in this world that I wish I could be more like, and he's one of them. So, the ladies, hang on, I'll get up. I'm taking a water break, and I'm a little oxygen depleted right at the moment, so hang on. The ladies are taking and stenciling the correct names of the herbs on rocks to identify them. And Crescencia is working on her own garden. The kids are taking a break. And Jessica and Curtis, who are just the driving forces behind this, are working diligently like always. I'm going to wrap up. I hoed, let me brag a little bit. I hoed all the strawberries. I hoed down through one row of tomatoes. I hoed all of the corn and something else. I think that maybe that was about it. So I got a lot done today. I'm pretty proud of myself. But I want to show you something. I'm always about foraging. This right here is purslane. It appears to be a succulent, although I'm pretty certain that it's not. This is a horrific vine. But this is purslane. And there's more growing right here. And I'm going to harvest some of this, to take home tonight. And I will eat that in my breakfast tomorrow. And then hopefully tomorrow evening I'm going to come back over, and I found another patch over there. I'm going to come back tomorrow evening and harvest some of this and try to transplant it into pots. Highly nutritional, free food. I'm all about it. So, a little oxygen depleted, and I'm rambling, so I'm not doing a very good job. I apologize that I'm not doing a better job. I apologize that I'm herky-jerky. It's been a long day. We're still remodeling a mobile home, and I had a trailer load of old particle board subflooring that I had to haul off and unload today. So the living room's done. And then we had other things. I got the poultry netting up, and hopefully I'll shoot a video about that tomorrow. So I'm going to wrap it up. That's it for Tuesday, OCCG. Please like, share, and subscribe. You can find us here. Also on VidMe, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Godspeed.